Alright, well, I meant to bring my Pivo pod, but I forgot it. So try to get a little wider angle, maybe help you guys a little bit more watching. Literally just let out here. The mind is kind of busy. And so while I'm working, I just wanted to talk about a few pet peeves. And I'm sorry I won't be real organized because I might have to go and talk about the teaching here. But a lot of times when I came out, I noticed the mind is wandering. Like it looks out there and then I want to think back to me. And if the horse doesn't, then I'm going to do a little something about it. Now, if that wasn't enough and I had to get to it, I'd make sure because it was over there and I wanted it to come back to me. The horse is right, my left, correct. If it didn't come back, or now we'll go back straight, good. If it didn't come back, I would head that way because I'm trying to get the mind to come to the horse's left. And if it didn't come back there, then I would go the other way. So I'm just always trying to think of center, but I'm trying to, even when I'm standing here, I'm actively engaging in the mind. Now, again, we haven't done much, so the horse is doing great. But there's so much going on a lot of times, but when I bring up a little energy, the horse thinks it needs to leave, and I haven't asked it to leave. So I want him to be able to tolerate some energy, like we talked about in the round pin the other day. My other pet peeve, which this horse didn't do, again, some of this stuff is just for other people, is when I lead and I stop to get a gait, I see a lot of horses, people crowd up onto them and they bump them. Some people are giving them treats to encourage that. Give them treats when they overbend. And again, I have direction here. A horse isn't like a puppy. They don't need to be rewarded with food. My opinion. They're a prey animal, not a predator. So it's more feeling, soothing, comfort. So again, I talked last video about starting in the middle. Well, even though, because there's a bunch of jumps in here, even though I'm starting in the middle, it kind of comes up to some edges, and I'm just being aware of where the horse is at. And I don't want to be picky, and again, I'm not doing all this stuff with my hands and changing the direction. I want the horse to find the center. And I see people, they're better on the ground than they are on their back. Their hands are moving always off the line. And if you think of your groundwork, I'm just a pivot point. And I want that horse round from the tip of its nose to the tip of its tail. So we did a video yesterday. Well, I don't know if you'll get to see it, but it's not up. I'll try to get it up. About when I was riding and having that horse carry that flow. So my reine's a little tight. If I was riding, I'd like a little more bubble. But because I'm on the ground and I only have control of one side of the horse, I have that a little tighter. I don't like my horses with a big bubble in it. I want them to learn to go to the end but not beyond when I'm trying to hold those feet. When I slide down and step in, I want those hindquarters to yield away until they get soft. I don't want to just change directions. I want those feet to get soft. And if the horse is anticipating turning too much, I might help keep it in this hand to keep it a little more forward and drive up under. Again, whether I'm on their back, I'm working on a lot of lateral. Getting control of those feet. Keep walking. Keep walking. Forward. Forward and round. There. Good. And since it gets a little stuck, I'll give it a little break. We'll go back out and around. Don't worry about those jumps. See how it looked over there? Wasn't too big a deal and it came right back to me. But if it didn't, I just changed directions there. But I want her to balance a little more and yield away. Don't get crabby there. Don't get crabby. There. Yield. I don't want her afraid, so when I come in and firm up, then I come back too fast. And I'll go back to petting her, but you don't get stuck. Yield out. Don't go faster. There, I want to take that hind under a little bit, take a little power out, but don't be afraid of that. If she starts to get too busy, then I won't try to balance. I'll do a lot of changes of direction. She runs off to the north, we come back to the south. She goes too fast one way, I come back the other way. I'm not being picky on the hind in front, but I do want that hind and then the front so that I can get changes. There, she wants to balance, we can slow down. She wants to go fast, I can work fast, but stay out of my bubble there. Stay out of my bubble. Don't run me over. Hind, front. You know if you can see. Good. When she comes out of that and finds a softer place, I'll let her walk. I'm not trying to keep her at the walk. I get more done if you get a little impulsive there. Yield out. Alright, good. Now the front. Now again. So I watched a guy working on the Gorocha, and his horse was built a little like this. I'd like to see my horse have a little more rounder top line there and build a little more muscle on that top line from that lateral, from softening. And it starts from the groundwork, but I'll help it riding too. But you notice the nose is always out here. It can't kind of gather up itself and get rounder. So I'm looking for that. I'm not going to make it happen, but we'll do some things bending. But when the horse settles a little bit there, I'll take a little break. She doesn't need to walk off. She can learn to be still. And since that nose is poking out, I'll work on a little bit of backing some circles there. Much softer than last week, but step that shoulder out. Come back in view. I don't want her leaning on this left shoulder. She leans heavy on this shoulder. So I'll do a lot of backing, arcs, both sides, not a lot of straight, because then she'll get too hollow. She can learn to get a little more weight off that front end from the arcs. She gets stuck, I go right, left. But when I step her out here, she doesn't yield. There. I do it when that foot comes off the ground and she can yield there. And then come back. Yield. Over there. Alright, good soft. Alright. Go back to checking this out. Good. and that gives us a start because we kind of missed the start last week. So now we're back under control and she's thinking a little bit. When I stop, you stop. When I give you slack, you wait. Good.